What's up, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host for today, Taylor McWatters, and on today's list, we'll be looking at some of the biggest characters that we want to see in Marvel's Phase 4. Now, with tons of titles in the pipeline, like Eternals, Shang Chi, and the Legends of the Ten Rings, still Black Widow, we can also look forward to the other characters coming along with them in their own franchise. So with that being said, guys, here are the top 10 biggest characters we want to see in the MCU Phase 4. Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10, Beta Ray Bill. This dude is coming to the MCU, or he's already there, just hiding, lurking in the shadows of hell or somewhere cool. He's been teased numerous times now, but who is Beta Ray Bill? Well, the Marvel Comics universe is home to the Corbinites, and amongst them is the powerful Beta Ray Bill. Making his first appearance back in 1983 in Thor issue 337, this version of Thor is recognized widely by his hammer, and of course, his face and snout. And the fact that he's like made of bones. He's a cool character. He's kind of like Dry Bones with a hammer. And his hammer is actually Stormbreaker, which we finally got to see in Infinity War for the first time. See, Bill was the first character to lift Mjolnir besides Thor or Odin. He's kind of a big deal. See, Odin in the comics actually made Thor and Beta Ray Bill fight, but when Beta Ray Bill won, he refused to kill Thor. He actually questioned Odin and the rules of said hammer, breaking the system. He's a rule breaker, I love it. So he asked if he could use the hammer just later on in life after he's gained some wisdom. So Odin decides just instead to give him his own hammer, which was Stormbreaker. His bones may have been teased in the opening credits of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 when Peter Quill's dancing, he turned a little bony head, and that apparently was a Corbinite, or Beta Ray Bill. Plus, his face was also seen as one of the champions in Thor Ragnarok. So hopefully we get to finally see this guy in action through a flashback, or hopefully not a flashback. Hopefully we just see him come in and kill the game. And before we go on to the rest of this list, guys, if you could go ahead and give us a thumbs up just down there on this video, it would be super helpful. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's get right back to this list. Number 9, Stinger. Cassie Lang, of course. I think this one we're gonna see in the MCU a lot sooner than we think. Whenever they recast a character, it's usually, you know something's coming. The daughter of Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, is one of my favorite parts of the Ant-Man films. The relationship is so cute and fun. They make cardboard houses, they dive through, they have a big eyeball plate, and Scott genuinely wants to give her the world. Now, in the comics, she actually took over for her father after his death in Avengers Disassembled. Now, I don't think Paul Rudd is going to leave the MCU anytime soon, but if/when he does, I'm pretty sure Cassie's going to fill in and take over the role of Ant-Man, but this time Stinger. They've shown enough growth of her. I mean, literally. Since Endgame and Infinity War, she aged a lot, and now she's recasted, so yeah, recently Cassie Lang went from being played by Emma Fuhrmann to now being cast as Catherine Newton. So whatever the reason was behind that probably had something to do with signing on to play a character in a multi-picture deal. And perhaps Emma couldn't commit, maybe she had some other projects she had to do, or maybe they just thought that the role of Stinger or Cassie would go better to the latter. So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is likely set to release in 2022, but yeah, even in the comics, she was asked by Scarlet Witch to join the Young Avengers. So Scott watched Hank and Hope play catch-up during the first Ant-Man movie, and they had a similar conversation about getting to wear a suit and getting to help out. So I think Scott Lang kind of absorbed that, and now he's thinking he's going to have that conversation at some point with his daughter. And I think that conversation is coming up hot in the next Ant-Man movie. Time to suit up, Stinger. Let's do it. Number 8, Nova, aka Richard Rider. Okay, watching Thanos collect the Infinity Stones one by one with ease was so intimidating. Like, this dude threw hands with the Hulk, and then the Hulk was like, yeah, I don't really want to get punched in the neck again, so I'm just going to leave, presumably forever. Peace. See, the movie starts off like moments right after Ragnarok ended, which is sweet. But we see Thanos after he's already obtained the Power Stone. And the last we saw of that stone was on Xandar, home of the Nova Corps. It's said that he took the stone after he decimated Xandar. So is everybody dead? What about Richard Rider? What's going on with the Nova Corps? Is John C. Reilly still alive? That's the most important question we have. We got so close in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I really felt like we were getting a juicy after credit scene with Nova. Infinity War screenwriters Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely even said that in the past that their original plan was to include Nova as the last survivor. So was this idea completely scrapped? Will we get to see this unfold in maybe a flashback? Maybe he'll come into the future. But either way, I think we're gonna see more of Nova regardless. Number 7, Mephisto. He made his first appearance as a serpent in Bible Tales for Young Folks issue 1. And he made his first full appearance as Mephisto the Devil in Silver Surfer issue 3. And he's been nothing but trouble since. So where does he live? Well, of course he lives comfortably in hell with, lesser demons that serve him. And with rumors coming up now that Mephisto may just be the one doing all these evil doings in WandaVision, that with Agatha Harkness kind of coming out being like, hey, it's been me the whole time, for sure her husband Ralph has got to be Mephisto. In Avengers West Coast Volume 2, Issue 52, we find out the truth behind Scarlet Witch's children, Billy and Tommy, which are the same names as the children in WandaVision. So in the comics, Mephisto tricked Pandemonium, and then he gathered beings possessing the appropriate fragments. 2 of those 5 fragments just happened to be Scarlet Witch's children. So when Pandemonium arrived, he took the kids, which in turn gave Mephisto full strength, and this of course left Scarlet Witch having a breakdown. Again, it's now confirmed that Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness in WandaVision, which would make sense. Because even in episode 6, we saw everybody in their comic accurate looks. We see Vision in his old school Vision look. We see Wanda rocking the big cool pointy mask that she should wear all the time. But of course, Agatha Harkness is in her car as a witch. She's dressed like a literal witch. It was right in front of us the whole time. Most of us knew where this was going after Sparky disappeared into the bushes and then died randomly. She was bad all along. It wasn't really a secret, but Mephisto is still a secret. So we have 2 more episodes left. Let's hope that we see him come out in a big red plume of smoke. Who do you guys think is gonna play Mephisto? Let us know in the comments. See if you can call it. Number 6, Adam Warlock. In one of the many after credit scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we got a hint at Adam Warlock being introduced. He's a perfect Sovereign created by Aisha, likely to be used against the Guardians in their next adventure. Hopefully. Now, originally fans thought that this was our first look at the Soul Gem. The color of the birthing pod had us scratching our heads, and plus in the comics, Adam was created by the Enclave, a group of scientists who wanted to create the perfect being. How do you cast a perfect being? I guess it's gotta be Zac Efron. Has to be. He's even referred to in just that short clip as more powerful, more beautiful, and more than capable of destroying the Guardians of the Galaxy. And in Thor the Dark World, Eric Selvig wrote "The Fault" on a chalkboard amongst his notes on the Convergence. And in the comics, the Fault was a tear in space that was sealed by Adam Warlock. Guys, who's your dream casting choice to play Adam Warlock as well? I know Zac Efron is still rumored to play it. I don't think he's gonna do it now. I think he's too busy with his own, wilderness adventures on Netflix where he eats bugs and becomes spiritual and stuff. Whatever he's doing, he would be great, but I don't think he's gonna play him. Number 5, Big Groot. Big Groot. It's like Groot, but big. You get it. Guardians of the Galaxy films are a lot of fun, and one of the best parts in that film is the bromance between Rocket and Groot. He's a little silly in the first movie. He likes drinking water out of fountains. He's not so great at sticking to the plans of a jailbreak, per se. He's a big, lovable giant. And then at the end of the movie, he sacrifices himself to save his friends. But don't worry, because he grew back. He Groot back. But this time, he was a little guy. He was a little guy who liked to dance around. He just happened to know when Drax was watching him. Then he stopped. It's great to see a character change like that so drastically, because now it gives the supporting characters an excuse to change their attitude up towards them, which gives us a hell of a lot of entertainment. Number 4, Ironheart. Riri Williams. Ironheart's big debut was Invincible Iron Man Volume 3 in 2016. So Riri Williams built her own Iron Man suit and is a gifted young scientist enrolled at MIT at age 15. A genius inventor even at the age 10, she reverse engineered the tech from Iron Man's armor, the Mark 41 armor, and then she got inspired, going on to create her own prototype suit from stolen materials that she found on campus. Then all of a sudden her actions raised the suspicion of campus security, so she suits up and flies away. She winds up stopping some escaped prisoners, catching Tony Stark's attention of course, and then he endorses her dream of being a superhero. So during Civil War II, Tony Stark was knocked out by Captain Marvel, and then Riri stepped up to continue his legacy. She's been busy since her debut. I mean, she joined up with the Champions to fight Hydra, and eventually being offered her own lab at MIT. Way to go. The Ironheart series is in development at Marvel Studios for Disney+, but with recent episodes of WandaVision, we're hoping that this engineer that Monica Rambeau needs help from is that of Riri Williams. Number 3, Kang the Conqueror. Another big player we're looking forward to seeing in the next Ant-Man installment, Kang the Conqueror. Making his first appearance in Avengers issue 8 back in 1964, Kang has seen many centuries, because his powers allow him to travel through time, and his futuristic suit of armor is built with weapons that aren't for the faint of heart. They'll certainly help him get wherever he wants, however he wants to get there. The time travel stuff doesn't come without consequence though either. Like we see Loki messing around with the time stuff, now he has his own show where he's with Owen Wilson, they're in an elevator. there's consequences to playing around with time, at least in the MCU. And in the comics, we see Kang travel more and more through time, but as he does so, he creates these time-displaced duplicates. And with the cosmic multiversal route that Marvel's going now, that element will probably make it into the plot, I mean, hopefully. Kang's actually already cast in the MCU. We have Jonathan Majors set to suit up. So this may be Marvel's next big bad. Who knows? Let's go. Number 2, Franklin Richards. Now, with the Fantastic Four reboot being confirmed for the MCU with John Watts attached to the project, we've already seen the Fantastic Four a few times now on the big screen, specifically one that we don't like to talk about. We don't mention that one over there. These two are fun. That one. Born in New York City, Franklin is the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, and is quoted from Galactus himself as the most powerful mutant ever. He is a mutant beyond Omega power, and you heard it from Big Guns himself, so there you go. Franklin was a member of Gen X, and he's also a future member of the X-Men in the Ultimate X-Men comics. In Fantastic Four issue 604, this dude even took on not one, not two, but 3 Celestials. One of them he leveled with just one punch. He's the one punch man. So needless to say, Franklin Richards is not somebody you want to mess with in any of his pocket universes. And finally, number 1, Miles Morales. This is a huge time for Miles, and I'm so excited that we're finally going to see him in the MCU with the next Spider-Man movie. Probably. Hopefully. Definitely. For sure. Let's do it. Yeah, let's just hope. I mean, at least a tease wouldn't hurt. I mean, come on. We have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all those other actors from different movies all coming back in the next Spider-Man movie. So can we at least get Miles thrown into the mix? Like, we're not going to see Miles and be like, ah, you know what? It's too many characters in one movie, for sure. If they're trying to bring in another Spider-Man, this is clearly the movie to do so. Let's finally make it happen, Marvel. Our bodies are ready. He was the center of attention for the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, and he's even got the spotlight in Spider-Man Miles Morales, which launched with the PS5 and just swept it. It was so good. I can't wait. Okay, so his first comic book appearance was in Ultimate Fallout issue 4 back in 2011. So after Peter Parker died, somebody had to step up. So this radioactive spider ended up finding his way to Miles, and Bob's your uncle. Well, actually, the Prowler is your uncle in Miles' case, but you get it. But when it comes to powers, Miles is super unique. Now, of course, he has the Spider-Man abilities that we're all aware of and that we all love, and he has natural electricity in his body that he's able to control, called a Venom Blast. Shamik Moore did an amazing job of voicing the young hero, and rumor has it, Miles Morales has already been secretly cast in the MCU. So again, guys, I'll finish on this question. Who is your dream actor to play Miles Morales? Leave all the comments, because like, this is so exciting. We're getting like a rebirth of the MCU. It's slowly happening. Mutants are definitely going to be in it now with WandaVision, so they're open to change. The Lords have blessed us. Here we go. Guys, there you have it. Leave a comment down below which of these new characters you're looking forward to see the most. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Taylor McWatters. You're you. Keep washing those hands, keep reading those comics, and we'll be back in a jiff. You guys are the best. See you next time.